What's a privilege that most people don't realize is a privilege?
Feeling safe in your own home. Not worrying about rats, mice, roaches, bed bugs, bricks being thrown through windows, violence outside, break-ins. Having a family that loves you. I grew up in a pretty loving family. It was somewhat dysfunctional,
To be sure.
but my mother loves me, as does my sister. So did my grandparents. We were always a close family and we helped each other when possible. We were always supportive too. I went to school with people whose parents couldn't have given a fuck less about them. I mean straight up. Just didn't give a shit if their kids lived or died. If your parents actively tried to keep you off drugs and off the streets and were emotionally supportive and not abusive, count your blessings. It's a fucked up world we live in and plenty of people are trying to navigate it completely alone. Being healthy instead of disabled and chronically ill. Having a bed. When I was ages 8 to 11, my siblings and I had to sleep on the floor because we lived in a tiny one-bedroom apartment. The only bed belonged to my grandfather, a 70-year-old man, and the couch went to my mother, a woman with severe back problems. The rest of us had to sleep on blankets and pillows. I remember turning 12 and finally getting to sleep in my own bed after 3 years of not
Having one.
It was euphoria. Sleeping through the night. Being able to pursue your dreams because you have enough support systems to thrive regardless of outcome. The 24th of July 365 of the following. 1. Clean drinking water. 2. Heated water. 3. Heated cooled indoors. 4. Electricity. 5. Food. Their health. If they are healthy. Being able to go to a store without worrying if your wheelchair can fit through the aisles of it. If they have front steps. Knowing that food is available basically at all times in first world countries. Growing up with 2 stable parents in the home. Being in countries where you are able to speak insults to, openly criticize or question authority without going to jail. Edit. Wow, wasn't expecting this kind of response. Thanks.
Having an emotionally mature parent.
Being mentally healthy. Basically, my childhood was such that as an adult I have an overactive amygdala, the part of the brain that
Handles strong emotions and instincts like fight, flight.
I've learned that if you chronically feel unsafe during your formative years, the amygdala forms more connections to the rest of your brain, and literally gets bigger to increase its processing power.
Since I had been like this for my whole life,
it was just normal for me. Normal to have very strong instinctive responses to danger or conflict.
and to always be dwelling on worst-case scenarios.
For example, as I've gotten treatment and medication, and as my situation has gotten better, I've had quite a few whoa moments where it really hits me that this is how a lot of people naturally see the world. No constant yammering of negative thoughts and emotions. No quiet dread that someone means me harm, or my life is about to fall apart. I still have a long way to go, but I definitely find myself sometimes thinking, oh, so this is what normal is supposed to feel like. Single quote. Driving. Living without constant physical pain. The idea that most people just exist without non-specific pain is baffling to me. A hot shower every day. My partner has to use IV nutrition because her stomach muscles don't work properly, preventing her from digesting food. Until I met her, I never considered being able to eat as something I'm lucky to have. Owning a vehicle. I can't fathom the amount of times how people dismiss those who don't have their personal transportation and how public transportation isn't always going to match up to their conveniences. Like, no Susan, I can't be wherever you want me to be in 10 minutes. It's also a huge barrier to employment opportunities depending on where you live. Growing up in a healthy, functioning family with 2 parents.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.